Woo! Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but a penny turn red. Can't let that clear in my head, war gaming.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Hobby Homies. We are your weekly tabletop podcast. I am Shane, hanging out with the dry one, Fox.
That's what some person has once called me.
And of course, we have Churchy.
In the void.
Today, we are going to be talking about our limited experience, but experience nonetheless, of Guards of Traitor's Tile.
Oh, Guards of Traitor's Tile. I thought we were going to have a different discussion about your lack of experience. Also, this episode's sponsored by Coca-Cola.
By Boomer.
By Boomer. Okay, Boomer.
So you got Boomer, I've got
What do you got? Oh, you are Rascal.
Rascal.
Though. And Church has got Heartthrob.
Yeah, he's a heartthrob.
I do like the idea of Churchy just basically starting the camera rolling no matter what shenanigans are going on. And we just have to somehow lock in.
Yep. Yeah,
That's cool.
He's like 3, 2, 1, and we're just
And
like,
he's like,
mid-meme.
God, don't say that word. Speaking of don't say that word, Guards of Traitor's Tile.
Yeah. Yep.
We've played it a handful of times, so this is our thoughts on the game so far.
Yeah.
Especially because there is such a buzz about this game at the moment.
Yep.
It's in our Discord pumping off. The Facebook page is going insanely well. What's going on? What did I say? What stupid thing did I say?
Keep going, dude.
No, what happened?
You said pumping off.
Did I say pumping off?
You said pumping off.
And I meant to. Of all the things I've said, that's by far the least funny. But now I know what it takes to make you guys laugh at me. And I'm here all night.
Any excuse.
Yeah, so if you whack this game off, I mean, it's been whacking off.
It has been absolutely flogging off.
Pumping off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's hooning.
Yep.
So, we want to talk about it because you have probably maybe got caught up in the buzz and that's led you here.
Yep.
Or you've just got the game and you want to put some content on while you're painting and you just want to hear more Guards of Traitor's Tile stuff. Well, for the next half hour, that's all we're talking about. So, Shane,
Indeed.
what do you think so far?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, we'll see you next week.
Pretty fun. It's so unique. Like the elements there, the semi-co-op war game, but not a war game, borderlining non-combat kind of game.
Yes. Pause. All right, that's cool. I can still do that. Churchy, pause. Love it. You guys can't see it because obviously you can't change the cameras, but I just want to speak to you. What the heck? He's sentient. I was going to say that we're not going to go into like what is Guards of Traitor's Tile
we've done that
in detail. That's on another episode. You can go find that. It's called What is Guards of Traitor's Tile?
Very unique.
Yeah.
Real original.
So, we might hash over and assume that you know what it is.
Yeah.
But if you don't, go listen to that episode. Carry on. Resume. You're talking about its uniqueness.
Yeah, it's just super unique.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, dude.
And like, I don't know, I was actually, I was reading a comment left on one of our battle reports. Someone that was thinking about picking up the game, and they're really like on the fence about it.
Sure.
Made a few good points. Like the game itself is very random. It's very chaotic.
Yes, that was a great comment.
Yeah. It actually does feel like a lot of the time you're just responding to like all these different events, right? It's kind of like, it's like you're getting all these calls and you're like, I got a job coming in here, I got something over there, and like it's just like it's basically trying to prioritize different tasks and different events, and there is and that element kind of means there's not a whole lot of like tactical sort of avenues there. Like I don't know, but then there's just so much going on at any one time, and it just progressively gets worse.
Yeah, and you raise a good point because our thoughts on this game have kind of been like a bit of a roller coaster because when you read through the book and you grasp the concept of this game and you look at how deep it is and how many options there are and stuff, you're excited about the premise of this game. It's never been done before. What do you mean the civilians are just walking around?
Yeah.
And what do you mean it's a war game where we're against each other? But there's NPCs that you can interact with and that things happen, and you can immerse yourself in this busy street of hustly, bustly fantasy town with miniatures that you have and miniatures that you've are building and painting. Anyways, so hype was at an all-time high. Then we played our first game, and the tricky thing is there's a bit of a barrier there, and you mentioned it, and the person that made that comment mentioned it, and it's like there's a lot of stuff that you can't control. And how do you? And so they were curious about like as we played more, did we find that there is actually tactical depth to the game, or is it a little bit like a story is unfolding and you're just reading the story.
Yeah, and you're
instead of writing it.
And you're at the will of the dice, right? Like,
yeah.
There was a couple of those moments in our latest battle report, without giving any spoilers,
Yeah.
where it was like bad roll after bad roll.
Oh, yeah.
Just meant that nothing could be done.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a way to mitigate it. Like it was just like tough luck.
Yeah, and so when we played our first game, it felt like, oh, this game is different to what we thought. It's tough. And you'll see it in the first battle report. A lot of our guards just walking off.
Yeah.
And we're like, I just want to go over there.
Yeah, but the guards is like,
see ya. Yeah, see ya. Yeah. And then we kind of thought about some things, and there are ways to mitigate that, like where you can deploy your people with lanterns on a side street across from where you are, so you know, you're all right, I can roll my roving action to take me in a direction, but if that's not favorable, I can always just move towards the guard with the lantern. So there are things like that.
Yeah.
That help. And also you can use there's tactical depth in, I think, which we haven't really touched on as we've played, but I was thinking about this after we played our last game. There's tactical depth in choosing who does the roving actions.
Yep.
Because roving is based on your wits, and some characters only have 3 wits, so your chance of like rolling poorly or not getting a halt action or not getting a coin is higher unless you play with someone that has 4 wits. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, well, what do you do with those people? Well, those people maybe you leave till last.
Yeah.
So that when your captain comes on, you can issue second orders, or maybe the game's developed more that now they can move towards a lantern or lock in on a suspect that they can see.
Or they might have like higher brawn, and then you can use that for like a check, like you need to punch down a door or fight someone.
Yeah, and you can also add to all these things with the types of equipment that you bring as well. So I think there is actually a lot of ways to mitigate the randomness and the lack of control you have.
Yeah.
And I think we're only scratching the surface of that in the way that we've played.
Yeah.
And I think so initially we were like super hyped. Then we played the game and we felt like we were just reading a story, not really playing it. Then we felt like maybe we just overcome that with playing the full game.
Yep.
Which is like playing mission 1 as opposed to mission 0, which keeps you quite limited and
and you've got a strict like set of plots that you play, which is just teaching you the mechanics.
And if you've only got 3 guards, which we had, then if you roll poorly for one of them, well, 30% of your army is not doing anything that.
Yep.
And if you draw time tokens before you get your last guard thing, then you only got one dude.
Yeah.
And he's just moving this way slightly.
And it's in the wrong direction.
So we were like, okay, let's throw in the full game.
Yep.
Let's play everything. Maybe if we got 6 guards, one of them's a captain who can issue orders to other people. We got lanterns, we got stuff like that. And that's true. That gives you way more stuff to do. It control like most of the randomness and feels bad moments are mitigated a lot.
Way more table coverage too, right? Like
so much more.
That first mission, there was things happening, and it's like we just can't get there.
Yeah,
it would take like 10 turns to get there. And that's if you rolled the right direction every single time.
Yeah.
And like now you've instantly got twice as many guards. So we had at one point we had all of our guards on the table, so we had 6 guards each. And there was still a bit of clustering. Like my guys sort of liked to hang out together, but you could in theory spread more across the board and get better coverage.
Yeah, and I think if you got like a lantern and a torch or 2 lanterns, and then you've got the rest of your guard, and you spread them out, and you're giving your orders from your captain, I think you mitigate all of that. But a different problem emerged, and that was the sheer length of the game.
Yeah.
Because originally in the rulebook, mission 1 requires you to complete 10 plots.
Yeah, that's just insane. Like,
I think that would take like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
Especially it's mission 1. It's probably the second time you've played the game.
Right. Yeah. It's just like it's full on, like full steam ahead, like hit the gas and we're in.
Yeah. Which is cool. I think it would be awesome to have like four people around, like have 4 mates around.
Yeah.
Play this game for a full day. It's telling stories. There's civilians doing this, doing that. You're drinking, you stop for lunch, you get coffees.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. I think it's a really cool you know how like people play big historicals for a long time.
Or Battletech.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just if you're not expecting that.
Yeah.
This game can kind of hit you out of nowhere. If you're thinking, I'll sit down, it'll take a couple hours. It's a skirmish game.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
Although Graham has errated that exact issue by sort of talking about how you can just choose how many plots you play, put a turn limit on it. So there's a little bit of stuff, and you might want to house rule it too. Yeah. We often do. We say, look, it's one of these three things. Either we complete all the plots.
Yep.
Or it goes to like 10 turns.
Yeah.
Or it gets to
like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because we're running on a time limit, right? Like we're doing this after work. We're doing this in the evening.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we can't play this until 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did run into that issue, and I like that he put the errata out. But it makes me kind of wonder, like, did it not come up in playtesting?
Well, yeah, it's a good question.
Or was it fully intended to be a big... Because if he's intended that, sweet.
Yeah,
no worries. Like, obviously, that's what he was intended. Like, that was the aim of the game. But
yeah, literally.
I'm sure someone would have been like, went for a while.
Yeah. It's also possible that, like, when you know the game that well, and you're teaching people that know you probably spend so much time teaching people that you only really run through the demo game.
Sure.
And then maybe you and your close friend who really know the game so well can chew through 10 plots in 3 or 4 hours. And you're like, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So possibly it's one of those. But Graham, if you're watching, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
We can relay that on. We're curious. Like, did you play it 10 plots and it took a couple hours and you're like, sweet? Or was it a big 5 or 6 hour game and that's the vision for it?
Yeah.
Because I think it can be either, but...
And, like, knowing Graham, like, he gets a bunch of people to do, like, proofreading, right?
Yeah.
So there's no doubt that he would have had a big old crew doing playtesting, like, for sure.
What I do also like, you're absolutely right. What I do like is that, and we haven't uncovered this at all, but there's a story to Guards of Traitor's Toll.
Yeah.
That the secrets tell.
Oh.
And so... There's so much to it.
Yeah.
Because you got this game that, as we talked about, it's like NPCs were playing semi-cooperatively. We're trying to beat each other, but we need each other's help in some regards.
Yep.
It's an incredible, like, suspect hiding. You can see people, but they have a token, so you can't actually see them.
Yep.
Immersive experience. But also there's nuanced list building, where your people have two hands and what you put in those two hands actually is on the tabletop.
Yeah.
It matters.
And leaving an empty hand can give you a bonus.
That's it.
You know, like choosing not to equip them with something in different ways can pay off.
And that aspect of it feels incredibly balanced too, because you don't feel like, oh, I would always just take this.
Yeah.
You go, oh, no, I would take a rope on this person who has better brawn or whatever, so I can easily subdue. So they're my subdue people, but their wits are lower, so they're going to cover less ground. So I'll pair them up with, so there's... But yeah, you don't have to go, all right, I'm taking this, which is 1 point, and this, which is 2 points, and this was... It's like, no, you just pick two things, and if it's a ranged weapon, that costs an extra point.
Yeah. Or if it's like, two-handed sword, it's like, okay, that's all you can equip.
Yeah, exactly. Because that takes two hands.
Yeah.
So you've got
the name.
You've got that, you've got that cool nuanced list building as well, with actual impactful choices in what you take that you can represent on the miniature. And then you've got the RPG-esque campaign-driven, you can advance your crews and gain upgrades.
Yeah.
But then you've also got an underlying story with secrets and plots, and it's so cool.
It is very cool. Yeah, absolutely. I think Graham he's mastered these art of like solo / semi co-op style of games. It's like 200 hours as well. Like you think about it, like the whole core mechanic of the game is stealth.
Yeah.
Right? It's Splinter Cell in World War II.
Yeah.
It's like get in and get out and don't get spotted.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you do that and on a tabletop game? And it's use these mechanics where it's like, yes, we both know where everything is, but we cannot interact with it. It's essentially not there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we didn't play 200 hours. You read the rule book, so you got a better understanding of it than I do. But I think it's really cool that you go from Tests of Honor, his first game, where it's like this dealt with combat, campaign, progression, simple cards with stats and tests.
Yep.
And then you take that into a stealth Splinter Cell thing, and then you bring all the best bits of those two into this game.
Yep.
And it's really cool to see because I'm a big fan of game development and game design. and I've been listening to the podcast by Snarling Badger Studios.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Just the episodes where they talk specifically about game design.
Yep.
And one of them was talking about, hey, don't make your magnum opus the first time.
Yeah.
Like, that's not your first game.
Yeah.
You build yourself up with other games, find out what works and whatnot, and you slowly end up naturally building towards. And this so far feels like his magnum opus because it's so clean. It's got so much going on. I just think if this is one of those games that you wanted it to be your only game, as if you got the expansion, it really could be.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can see you playing this game 20 times. That would get you through all the plots, all the story, and then you add in the expansion.
Yep.
So if you played it every week, you could play it for an entire year.
Yep.
And I feel like the replayability would be there, which is crazy.
Yep.
That's absolutely crazy. And I don't think I could say the same about the other two games.
No.
I don't think Test of Honor, you could play it every single week for an entire year and feel like you have that same replayability.
Yeah.
Which is kind of its biggest strength as well, is like we just picked it up the other day and all came flooding back, and it was one of the most fun we've had with a battle report.
Definitely. Yep.
The only battle report I can think of that we've had more fun was our last Guards of Traitors Toll one.
Sure.
So go check that out on our second channel, by the way. We talk about all these battle reports, but if you're new here because you're just here for Guards of Traitors Toll content, you're only getting half of it.
That's right. There's a link in the description for our other channel for our video content, unboxings and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah, we just did an unboxing of Busy Streets expansion.
Yeah.
Check that out if that's something you're considering. Also good value, especially if you like dice.
Yeah. What do you reckon? So Graham's obviously got I think he's got a Hollywood theme going with his games, right? Like he's got Test of Honor, which is the Hollywood sort of Japanese feudal combat there.
Yeah.
He's got 0200 Hours, which is like an action movie on a tabletop game.
Yeah.
Guards of Traitors Toll, I can definitely see it being portrayed by like Monty Python or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
What do you reckon his next game's going to be?
Oh, good question.
I'm thinking something sci-fi.
Yeah. Yes. It's interesting because, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but knowing where he came from and everything, he strikes me as a very historically...
Okay.
Like a historical wargamer.
Yep.
And so I agree with you. I think it would be cool to be sci-fi.
It's just something left field. I got a feeling something like that's coming along.
But if there's a... but if he's like a passionate history buff, maybe there's something more like... My brain's going to like...
Rome?
It's going to pirates.
Oh, yeah?
It's going to pirates. That would be cool, Graham.
That would be cool.
We were just talking about this the other day, actually. We were talking about like looking for a good pirate skirmish game.
If Graham made a pirate skirmish game, it would be probably the best pirate skirmish game ever.
Yeah. And we just heard about, what was
Royal?
It? Yeah.
Dude, I've been trying to buy that. Do you know Postage alone is like $100?
Oh, wow. See, Graham, we complained about Great for Now Games Postage for an eternity, but it's only $50.
I was like,
a bargain.
I'm putting it in and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get the base game and I'll get some like extra terrain, and then I'm like, check out, and I'm like, it's $350.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like 500 Australian dollars. I'm like, what the hell?
You know what's really interesting is it feels like he really does historically start his next game after he's sort of hit the first expansion of the previous game.
Yep.
It felt like that was true for as soon as like Sengoku came out a few months later, it was rumors of 0200 Hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this game was obviously a lot bigger, so it felt like maybe it took a little bit longer to go from 0200 Hours into this one because of the scale of this. So, oh man, we got to tell him now to start making a pirate game before he's already made up his mind about whatever other game.
Yep. Absolutely.
That would be cool. So, I know this is a Guards of Traitors Toll episode.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to go on a tangent there.
Let's think about what a Graham-inspired, a Great for Now Games-inspired pirate game would look like.
Ooh, okay.
Because obviously it would have cards.
Yep.
With your different crew.
Yep. You're going to have the same kind of stats. You're going to have different tests. I'm going to say, instead of looking for dice for successes, you're looking for like scimitars.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Or is it going to be like bullets? Or
bullets?
probably not bullets.
Nah.
Probably cutlasses.
Cutlasses.
Sure.
Yep.
And maybe, Gosh, but what kind is it on a ship?
It's combat on a ship. It's skirmish combat on a ship.
All right, so not on a port or anything like that, or a port city.
Could be.
Yeah, okay.
It could be. It's definitely skirmish combat on a ship.
Yeah,
you're not moving the ship.
Okay, yeah.
You've got your crew. It's stationary.
Yeah.
Maybe it's adrift.
Yeah.
But it's you're not controlling the ship.
Yeah.
You've got your pirate crew, or maybe your pirate crew versus like an Imperial Navy or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
The sneak mechanic is actually something that reared its head in Test of Honor. Mm-hmm. It was like a sneak action where you can move 3 inches, gain a sneak token.
But that was just like an extra defense, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like...
Or you could use it to dodge, or there was something
Yeah, you're right.
You didn't have to use your activation.
You spent that instead of your activation. So the sneak mechanic came into that. Then it was like the main mechanic, I feel like, of O200, like the whole stealthy things. How do we bring, and it's now a key piece in this as well with suspects hiding and whatnot.
Yeah.
So how would that incorporate into a pirate game? Maybe some of the missions are your pirates, you've just got to a dock, and you're trying to heist it. You're trying to look for the treasure, trying to steal it and get out of there.
Yeah.
And you're playing against the local law enforcement of the
militia.
town. Yeah. Or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So just make that happen, Graham.
Yeah,
please.
that's cool. We've scribbled it down on a napkin now. You just got to
make it. Do it. And then credit us.
20%.
Yeah. So we're going to do another battle report on Guards of Traitor's Toll some point soon.
Yeah, with the Busy Streets expansion.
Yeah.
So we've got some more guards and civs to paint up.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
And let's throw all the civs in there.
Yeah, let's do it.
All 36 of them.
Yeah.
The busiest street you've ever seen.
It's going to be Burke Street.
Yeah, fact.
Only Melburnians will probably understand that reference.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be Times Square.
Oh, Piccadilly.
Sure, dude. I don't know if that's legal.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. All right, let's do that. We'll throw it all in there. And we'll definitely try and label them like we did previously with stickers and stars, because that is another
base rims.
That's a tricky thing about the game.
Yeah,
is keeping track of everything.
That's right. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised there isn't like tokens or something included in the game, because that's another thing that did it come across in playtesting.
Yeah,
like was that one of the things that everyone was like, once I've got like 10 different suspects on the board.
Yeah.
Like, how to remember who's who?
Yeah, who's
or
who in the zoo?
Or are we just smooth-brained idiots?
No, I see lots of people saying the same thing. In fact, everyone is sort of talking about the different ways that they track the suspects, because the way that this game works, I mean, we're not going to explain it, but you could have 3 or 4 plots active at once, and each plot could be pertain to a different suspect.
Yeah.
Some of the plots could be a major plot that has 3 suspects, so suddenly your 3 or 4 plots is for 6 to 10 people.
Yeah.
Or 6 to 10 things happening on the board. But this plot is this person. Mm-hmm. So when you activate this person, you need to know that they're from this plot.
Yeah.
Because that plot has all the stats for that person. But that person is 1 in 20 people on the thing. So and it's just tricky to go, wait, was that the person who was the cut purse?
Yeah.
Or was that person the
annoyed merchant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there is that element of, there's that logistical element, because you don't want to flood the game with tokens.
Nah.
Already got so many on there.
Maybe Graham just thought like, no, you can figure it out.
Yeah, maybe.
But there's no acknowledgement of it. Like maybe, who knows, right? Who knows how all that sort of side works. But like, there's different things you could do. You can get like, stickers like we used.
Yeah.
You can get little like bases that you could maybe put them on a base, like another base or something.
Yeah, like a base.
Like an MDF base.
Rim.
Yeah.
And they sort of click in there, and that gives them the coloured rim, like a lot of board games do when you like... Yeah, there's a board game, there's a Cyberpunk Edge Runner board game, and I'm pretty sure the clips on it are like 25 mil.
Okay.
However, the bases on this are 25 mil.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I think you'd be forcing it in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need someone to design the STL or something for these little base clicks that you can just click your thing in.
Yep. Magnet.
You could magnetize it for sure. Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be a nice clean solution, but also you don't want all these gaudy colors, you know, like these big bright red rims. So,
and it's just another barrier, right? Like, people might play it once and be like, I'm not playing this again until I figure out a better way of like figuring out who's who.
Yeah, and some people have painted like little just dots or numbers on the rims of all of their civilians. And so when they assign something to that civilian, they're like, that's number 12.
Yep.
So then they just put the corresponding D20 number on a plot card.
Sure.
And that's nice. And that's the best way I've seen so far.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that doesn't really break immersion. You can see it from the side, like the number, and you can see the thing on your plot card, like the D20 on your plot card, but it doesn't break the immersion of the game. And that's probably the biggest deterrent about having all these tokens and having all these ways of tracking your civilians, is that you don't want to break the immersion of one of the most gorgeous looking games on the tabletop.
Dude, coupled with the tolling chests of terrain by Sarissa Precision, it is just incredible.
Isn't it not? It just looks so good.
Some of the shots we had in our battle report, like, it just blew me away.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Churchy would switch to the cinematic and we'd just be like, I mean, just look at that. Would you just look at it? So, yeah, it's such a pretty game. And yeah, so if you can find a way to track your civs without breaking that immersion and layering up too many tokens or things, then if you're getting into this game hoping it's going to be something that you can play a bunch of times, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You can play it a bunch of times. You can play it with up to 4 people, and you can play it. You spend a whole afternoon playing it.
Yep.
So if that's the kind of thing you're looking for out of Guards of Trader's Toll, that's where it ticks all the boxes.
For sure.
If you're looking for something that's like lightweight, can play it in an hour and a half, you could probably modify a mission to do that. And I think there's probably a gap there, like for people like us that just want to play an hour and a half, but you still want to feel like you've played Guards of Trader's Toll. There's probably a house rule or something where maybe you pre-pick even a single major plot.
Yeah, and like 2 other plots or something like that. Have them come up first.
Yeah.
Major plots like your finale.
Well, some of those, that major plot was like you had 3 suspects.
Yeah.
And they're all like running away and you got to arrest them all.
Yeah.
And that took us like 5 or 6 turns. We did one.
That's probably enough. If you want a quick game.
One major plot, give yourself 5 turns and see if you can solve it. Yeah. Something like that would be really cool. Yep. And then, because there's a heap of major plots. So if they're all at that similar length, is there like 10 or 15 major plots once you add the expansion? So that's 10 or 15 unique, quick games you could play of it.
Yeah.
We should try that.
We should try that.
That's
an experiment.
We'll let you know how that goes, because that might be a nice way to turn this spend the afternoon deep, immersive, campaign-driven game into a little...
Yeah.
I just want to throw it on the table for an hour and a half.
Maybe 2 games in a night.
Yeah, which would tick a whole different box for people like us.
I'm sure it would.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, anyways, that's what we think.
That's what we think of Guards of Trader's Toll.
So far, we'll obviously keep you updated as we play the game more and immerse ourselves in more content from other people who are playing the game and hear other people's opinions. But so far, that's what we think. Pretty good, eh?
Pretty good.
Pretty bloody good, eh?
Pretty bloody good, mate. Yeah, not bad.
Good work, Graham.
Not bad.
Good work.
Yeah. He's done a good job. Everything that's come this way from Great Finale Games has just been incredibly impressive. And
we're only just scratching the surface. Like, we haven't... I just saw something that... things can explode.
What?
There are things called...
Red barrels.
There's incorporeal things... Impervious, invincible.
Oh, there's a whole fantasy side of things we haven't even come across.
Resistance to cold, regenerate poison.
There's like ogres, there's dwarves. It's fantasy, right? Like you can put whatever you want in there.
Yeah. You took the attack animal, but we definitely know how fire spreads.
We figured out fire.
But there's things that are huge, things that ignore wounds, and things that are lumbering, and things that are stealthy, and things that swarm. It's just, there's so much to it, and it's like the game that keeps giving, because like we haven't even become weapon experts yet.
No.
Or unlocked secrets yet.
We haven't even used secrets yet.
Yeah. So I think of what we've played across 3 games, we've probably explored 60% of the game.
Sure.
No, not less.
Yeah.
If you count all the plots and stuff, we're probably talking like 20% of the game.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. That's really cool for people that really want to go all in on this. So,
and it's like $100.
Yeah,
that's wild, right?
$100 for 180, you could get it and the expansion.
I think the minis alone are worth $100.
The fact that you can get $180 and split it between 4 people and all be playing this game is really cool, because you could just have Guards of Traitors Toll nights where, oh man, you just imagine a busy city and you're all just moving around trying to arrest different people, trying to do different things.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be cool.
Would be very cool.
Anyway.
Hey, we got a Patreon.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's pretty cool.
What do you do?
People can sign up and give us money.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Max agrees.
Yeah.
He's like, why would they do that?
Why would that? Stupid
idiot.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
You can get all kinds of cool stuff. In fact, for as little as $2 a month, you can get early access to videos like this one.
Yeah, and other video content as well, like these absolute legends on the screen.
Yep, and the main homies.
And the main homies, of course.
And actual
and the
legends.
MJ, Moose, Fatboy, and Tom. Real ones, that's you, Numa. The Goats, Burnsy, Fine Soul Hockers, Gridlock, Journeyman, Matty Matt.
We've got a million OGs, Darren M, Souls, Are You Warrior, Churchy, Rad Rooster, Ollie, Penny, Don Juan, Don, Pure Blind, Jackson V, Winnie Moore, what? I've lost them all. Voom Moose, Undead Psych, Nicholas P, and Big Roach. Thank you all so much. Sorry for the 2 people that I missed.
You missed about 5.
Sorry for the 1 person I missed. But you know what you signed up for because we're the Hobby Homies.
Indeed.
And that's a Hobby Homies guarantee.
Yep. We got 2 new Patreons this week as well.
We do.
Sundered Psyche.
Is that this week? I feel like he's been a homie and a Patreon for an eternity.
He has been, it does feel like that, doesn't
Yeah.
it? He's been chirping away hard.
What a legend.
Yep. And of course, we have Nicholas P.
Yeah.
Shout out to those 2 absolute homies.
Nicholas, you're an absolute legend. We've also got a new Don. There's a new Don in
there is
town.
a new Don coming in town, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, he's coming for him.
He's coming for Don Juan Don, although Don Juan Don is number Juan Don.
Yeah, indeed.
But we have another Don, so it's a Don off.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, yeah. No worries, dude.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
Yeah. See you guys next week.
Root.
Woo! Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but a penny turn red. Can't let that shit in my head, war gaming.